The car industry is calling for crony capitalism. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee and I thought we'd have a look at this article shared to me by a viewer. And this is from Car Advice. And I would say this is a blatant example of an industry calling for crony capitalism. They want the state to use its authority and force to intervene into the market to give them an advantage. Now this has been tried several times before. This never works. In the end, we're always worse off. But people need to be aware of it. People need to argue against it and need to see through all the airy-fairy and fluffy, oh, it'll help this industry BS. Because, frankly, cash for clunkers, we should have the right to drive our cars, guys. Yeah. So, cash for clunkers, new calls to get old cars off the road. What if all you can afford is an old car? What if all you can afford is an old car? So they're going to take your car off you. And remember, the government getting its money to pay for this, it's all just our money. One way or another, either taxed or inflated, one way or another. So, the car industry is calling on the federal government to introduce an incentive scheme to retire old vehicles to improve road safety and help market recovery from record low sales. As people were sharing posts and tweets, apparently car sales have just plunged off the cliff in other parts of the world as well. So it's not surprising. And I've reported on this before. We can look here at car sales are just, they've been falling all year. You can see this is purple compared to the previous years. Every month sales have been down. Every month sales have been down. And you've got to remember an incentive scheme. That's code word for money. For money. Or maybe fines. The car industry is preparing to lobby the federal government to introduce a cash for clunkers scheme to improve road safety and help the market recover from the longest sales slump since the GFC. It's always about safety. It's always about safety. And this is a strategy used all the time, arguing for safety. Oh, think of the children. Think of this. Oh, you're too dumb to be able to do this. It's safer to pay someone to do it, or safer to pay someone else to manage your money, or to change your tire, or to change a light bulb. I'm not kidding. There are people who won't change light bulbs. They get electricians into them. I hate it. I hate specifying these LED lights where it's completely integrated. You can't even replace it. It's hardwired into a project. You've got to take the whole thing out, throw it away, put a whole new one in. But that's the thing. Safety is used to prompt you. And people think, oh yeah, I like safety. Everyone's in favor of safety. We all want to be safe. But at what price? What freedoms are you sacrificing? And what's a clunker? What's a clunker? Is my 5-year-old Toyota Camry, is that a clunker? Or is my dad's Hilux that he used to have from '88, was that a clunker? It's running fine. What about my Kia? My 2010 Kia Carnival, is that a clunker? They'll have to change. It depends on how their sales figures are going. They'll keep moving the year up and up to force you to get rid of your car. Figures due to be released today by the Federal Chamber of Automotive Industries are expected to show the pandemic crisis and associated lockdowns contributed to the sharpest month-to-month sales slowdown since records were kept, and the weakest April result in more than 30 years. Tighter finance requirements in the wake of the Banking Royal Commission have contributed to a 25-month slowdown of new car sales, the longest downturn since the GFC in 2008 and 9. So you've got to realize what this is saying, guys. Because they don't want people to lie on their loan applications, or they want it to be more thorough to make sure people can actually pay for the bloody things. So it's a slowdown in finance. And remember, they don't want you to pay cash for these cars. They want you to go into finance. They make more money on that. So now the car industry is calling for a new stimulus package that will assist car buyers across more affordable price ranges to new motor vehicles. And I bet you'll have all the idiots coming out there, oh, we should subsidize electric cars, we should subsidize this. No, let the market decide. Leave it up to the market. Because this stimulus package, this is everyone's money. This is everyone's money. either in taxes or inflated away money printing. One way or another, we're all going to pay for it. Let the industry regulate. Let all the dealers that can't compete, they'll disappear, and new ones will come back. If you can make money in something, you'll do it. That's why they're trying to do this. They're trying to get free money out of the government, essentially. You know, while the industry does not formally refer to the scheme as a cash for clunkers offer, because it wants to also apply the incentive to all the vehicles that may be in good working order. Oh, there you go. So it's not actually a cash for clunkers. It's cash for anything. The Australian Automotive Dealers Association said the federal government needs to develop a fleet renewal scheme. Why? Why? If your car's fine and running, why do you need to renew it? Or even better, get people to renew it on finance. Get people to renew it on finance. I've been watching Dave Ramsey, the American radio host, all talking about finance, and everyone there has, oh, I've got car payments, I've got car payments, I've got car payments. And his first strategy is often sell the car, buy yourself, what is it, he calls it a hoopty, you know, a bomb. We call it a bomb here. And I think my father-in-law is notorious for driving, you know, cars that he's repaired. Last one he's had that's sitting in my front lawn, still in pieces. I mean, looks terrible, to be honest. But it used to catch on fire because oil would leak from the engine and you have flames flying out the front. So yeah, I'd call that a hoopty. You know, I'd call that a hoopty. We need to help him get it fixed. Actually, wait a minute. No, I should be fully behind this so I can get rid of that bloody eyesore from my driveway. Yes, no, I've changed my mind. We need to get rid of this and implement it right away. This would provide a stimulus for the automotive industry and assist in making Australia's passenger vehicle fleet safer, while also reducing emissions. Oh, well, isn't that good? Said James Woodman, the CEO of the Australian Automotive Dealers Association, which represents 60,000 employees and 3,500 showrooms nationally. This is the trick these organisations do. They say they represent this many workers to give them legitimacy to lobby government for free money, or to lobby government for schemes. You know, this is crony capitalism, guys. This is an example of it right here. This is why you've got all these socialists who are saying, oh, capitalism's failed. We haven't tried it, guys. We haven't tried it. Here's the question, is it even possible? If ever you've got a government this big being able to forcefully take money off people and redistribute it at will on any bullshit program they want, can we actually have real capitalism? You need to scale it back. I'd argue for a night watch government. Really, really scale it back. But that's for another video. Fleet renewal schemes have been successfully applied in other industrialized economies throughout the world during economic downturns. He said, well, no, it's failed in America. It's failed in America, but we don't talk about that. Such a scheme would provide significant benefits to motorists in terms of safety and fuel consumption, with a wider societal benefit in the form of reduced vehicle emissions. It sounds good, but I mean, we're not driving as much, so safety or fuel consumption isn't an issue. Oil is super cheap, so who cares? Reduced vehicle emissions, aren't vehicles much cleaner now than they have been? And you've got less people driving, so that doesn't matter anyway. You know? The AADA said schemes that would encourage motorists to trade up to a new car are currently being considered by countries such as Germany, the United States, and the United Kingdom to breathe life into automotive retail following the pandemic downturn. They're car manufacturers, everyone. We're not. We're not a car manufacturer. Everything's imported. It's going to be more expensive for us. While most car companies are yet to comment on the proposal by AADA, one major brand, Volkswagen, said it would support a fiscally responsible government plan to retire old cars and commercial vehicles. Do you want the government pushing for this, guys? Do you want them pushing for this? The AADA pointed to research from Australian crash test authorities that found vehicles built before the year 2000 represent just 20% of vehicles on the road, but are involved in nearly 1/3 of fatal crashes. In 2017, the Australian New Car Assessment Program, ANCAP, which has compiled the crash test results of more than 500 vehicles since 1992, conducted a head-on demonstration between a near-new 2015 Corolla and an older 98 Corolla pictured above. Okay. It's very dramatic. The results showed the driver of the older Toyota Corolla was 4 times more likely to die in a crash at this speed versus the driver of the newer Corolla. Yes, that's because technology improves, everyone. Technology improves. That's what happens. Some people can't afford the new car, so they get the older car, and they take the risk. Okay? That's part of life, guys. Until you can save up to buy a newer car, to buy a safer car. You know. This is the thing. This is all... They're using emotive arguments to justify government handing out money to an industry. That's what it is. That's what it is. And this will persuade a lot of people. You've got to be a bit of a harder bastard to see through this all. How many generations of people do you want in debt so people, boomers, can buy new cars? There's the question. And I know it's not just boomers, and probably wouldn't be. They'd already have the new cars. But how many of the, what is it, Generation Z do you want in debt for my generation to buy new cars? Get subsidized new cars. You know what would be better? What would be better? Actually, you know what? We don't even need this program. There are going to be a lot of cars that are going really cheap because you've got all these dealers going down. So that will improve the safety, the emissions, everything in the market. We can all trade up our cars. Just let a few of these places go bankrupt. Go to auctions, everyone. What about that idea? The market will adjust. You know, how many people are seeing cars for sale on the side of the road? We'll see that happen. You'll see new cars for sale on the side of the road just with a recession. So we don't even need this scheme. It's going to solve itself. Anyway, a recent study by, I know that's not what this is about, a recent study by the Australian Automobile Association, the peak body representing the motoring industry, clubs showed that lowering the average age of Australia's car fleet by 1 year would save 1,377 lives and create 19.7 billion in benefits in trauma and emission reductions over a 20-year period. Okay, so with this coming recession and all of these businesses going under and these cars available a lot cheaper, how much effect will that have on the business? On, you know, as a contrast to this, you know, intervention into the market. According to the most recent census data, the average age of all motor vehicles in Australia is 10.2 years versus 11.1 in Europe, 11.8 in the US, and 13.2 in Japan, according to data from aggregator site Statistica. That's surprising, honestly. I thought our cars would be a lot older. So there you go, guys. There you go. So, an industry body lobbying for government intervention, where frankly, I would think if we just let the market work its way out, everyone would start getting newer cars. You know, a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. Just keep your eyes out for those auction sites, guys. Keep your eyes out for those bankruptcy sales. Because we're going to start seeing them. Is that too harsh? Do we all need to be touchy-feely and take care of, you know, the car sales people? What do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can take my father-in-law's car away. No, he'll kill me. You can support us on Patreon or on YouTube. You can support us via affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can help us out by buying our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.